What's up, everyone? Welcome to Beyond the Basics today with Doculife. Today we are going to be going over binder settings, contributor roles, tags, how to use them, what they're for, and then also import emails. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of good stuff to take a look at. Let's get going with binder settings. Excuse me. All right, so let's pop over to our Doculife account. All right, there we go. So here we have a binder that's all about exploring the Eiffel Tower. And to look at binder settings, we've got this little cog icon just to the right of the plus button. That makes it really easy. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here. On the left-hand side where we've got this background image, you'll see that we've got a list of everything that can appear in the side rail. So it's up to you how you want to display these and who you want to display them to. So they're all controlled by user role here. So we've got hidden if you don't want to display it to anyone, including yourself. Owner only, which would just be you because you created the binder. Admins only. So these are people that you give the role of admin to. And then contributors, which is editors, and then everyone else would be anyone with any role or any permissions could see it. So you could drag these around on the side into any order you would like, and that will get reflected when you go back out. So here we're going to move the description down below sharing. And if you go back out, you'll see that the description is now below sharing. So it remembers simply by dragging and dropping these into whatever order you would like. And it's really up to you what you would like to show. So right now we've got 3 that are hidden, and then 2 that show to everyone, and then 1 that shows to only editors and up. So I'm going to actually make this one only appear to myself and admins, because myself and admins are the only people that can actually invite other contributors. So if we look at this particular binder here and we show everything, there we go. You'll see that the sharing content panel is all about who's in the binder, like who you can invite and then invite people. So I only want to display this to people who can actually do the inviting, which is myself and admins. Anyone else below the contributor role of admin cannot invite anyone. So let's go back to binder settings here. And we've got the About Me also showing here, which is really great. So this is all of the content in your side panel. Simply, again, drag and drop to reorder in whatever order you would like. And then also you could decide who sees what here in the dropdown. All right, so then moving over to the main content area of the page, we've got the binder title, the binder description. You can edit those here, or you can also edit those in the main view just by clicking in and retyping the name here. And you can also edit this right in place here as well if you would like. So a couple ways to edit these. Underneath that, we've got binder color. So this is just a default setting for anything new that's created for sections or widgets. We'll take on this default color, but you can then modify those sections and widgets to be any color that you would like. Then we've got 2 buttons below that. We've got transfer ownership and delete binder. These are 2 actions you won't use very often, but the use cases do exist. So we like to have them here in case you do need them. So transfer ownership is if you would like to literally do what it says, is transfer the ownership from you to someone else. So when would this ever come up? So say you've been using Doculife to keep tabs on your house. You've got everything about your house in it, like maintenance records, roofing warranties, HVAC warranties, manuals for all the things that are in your house, appliances, ceiling fans, things like that. Any warranties on any work that you've had done. For instance, if you had a driveway installed, a new roof installed, all fencing, all of those warranties in one place. But then you're going to sell your house. You don't need any of that anymore because you're going to live somewhere else. well, then you can transfer the ownership of this particular binder where you've got all of this great information and transfer it over to the person buying your house so that they then have all that great information and can use it to their advantage. Another instance would be if you're using Doculife at work and you're leaving that particular job, someone is assuming your role and needs to have access to the binder. You can transfer the ownership of the binder from yourself to the person assuming your role. So two really kind of edge use cases, if you will. But again, they do arise, and that's why we have it here. And then the second button, the red scary button, is delete binder. And it's okay if you do click this. We do have a confirmation screen here if you happen to tap it by accident. So think of a binder like a basket, and the contents of the binder is the fruit in the basket. So when you go to delete a binder, you have the option of deleting just the basket or the basket and its contents. So that's what this checkbox is here for. If you want to delete the basket and its contents, make sure you have this checkbox selected, and then we'll delete everything in the binder and the binder itself. If you leave it deselected, those contents will stay in Doculife, and then you can use them in another binder elsewhere just by entering tags or moving them in there, however you want to handle that. So just know that that's what this screen is all about. And again, hopefully it's one that you don't need very often, but it's there when you need it. Then on the right-hand side, we've got a few switches here. We've got hide binder. So this is if it's a binder you don't access very often. For instance, if you're feeding bills or statements into it, and then you only need to access it when you need to look something up, you can hide it from view overall, and it will just kind of clean up your interface. And then when you need it, you can simply unhide all the hidden binders, and then you can access it. Don't include on mobile. So the second one here is great. For instance, if you've got a binder full of high-res images that are like 50 meg each, a lot of video content, and so the total file size weight of the binder is going to be generally high. We realize that not everyone in the world has an all-you-can-eat unlimited data plan on your mobile phone. So if you've got a binder that has a lot of stuff in it, you don't need to access it while you're out and about. You can simply turn this switch on here, and that binder won't get downloaded on your mobile phone while you're out and about and use up your data plan. So you can simply turn this on. So it's great for people who don't have an unlimited data plan. And again, like when I say your binder is heavy, I mean, you have a lot of stuff in it, like over 500 mega stuff. And like, how do you know how much you have in a binder? Let's take a look at that. So I'm going to choose by the numbers here. And I'm going to show it to everyone. And so if we go back here, we could look at by the numbers, and I don't have a lot of photos and things. So this binder is mainly made up of widgets and things that I've saved using the bookmark. So there's not a lot of heavy content in this binder. As you can see, it's only 104K, which is 1/10 of a megabyte. But if your binder was like 500 megabytes, not kilobytes, megabytes, MB, or higher, you may want to think about flipping that switch if you don't have a all-you-can-eat data plan, just to save things on mobile. If it's something you need, obviously, that has important things in it, then don't turn that on, because that's part of the awesomeness of Doculife, is being able to access your stuff on the go. So show binder activity in conversations. So again, let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like here. Oh, we're not showing the conversations. I should have checked that. So let's see here. We're going to turn this on. Then we'll go take a look at that. Okay, so if we pull this out here, pull this down a little bit, and is that turned on? Show. It should keep a running track of who's doing what in the binder right here. So if you go under the action menu here and you look at binder history, it keeps a running track of exactly who's doing what in the binder, so that you know when you're collaborating, you know, who's put this here, who's edited that. You have a running list of everything that's happened. And this can appear in conversations, so that when you're making comments about things, the activity is also recorded here, and that should be displaying in the conversation. Let's go back over to settings and look at this last one. Show binder section creator. So again, when you're collaborating, I'll turn this on, and you go back out and look at the sections here. You can now see the person's profile picture, and you see who created this actual section. So it's really handy when you're collaborating to see who's doing what, and you can see exactly who's added things in that particular section. So super handy there. All right, and then we've got binder thumbnail, header background, and sidebar background. So binder thumbnail is what you see out here on binder, and that's this guy right here. So you can set this by choosing anything you would like, or if you don't set it, Doculife will simply grab the first image that's in the binder and use that automatically. So it's really up to you how much you want to customize it. So let's go back and take a look here. And so this is going to be your header image up here, and then this is going to be your side rail image there. So if we look at settings here, we have the header background, which was up here. Then we have the sidebar background here. And if you're a small business, say, just a couple yourself, or yourself and a few employees, you can also brand your Doculife by adding your own logo, and that will appear up here at the top of the side rail. So really cool. All right, so that's binder settings. This is all available also on mobile. If you go to the action menu, which is a 3-dot vertical menu in any binder, you can also access binder settings there as well. So let's take a look at the collaboration settings here and talk about the next item on our list, which is contributor roles. So in Learn the Basics, we find out how to add contributors by clicking this button here in settings, or if you're out in your binder, you can simply go to sharing and click invite people there. It'll open up the same thing. Or if you hover over, there's a lot of ways to do the same thing. Hover over the plus sign. This is for widgets, email, and QR codes. So just here or in settings. So let's go ahead and click this here. And as you can see, there is a list of contributor roles that you can provide. So any binder can only have one owner, and that's the person that created it. So if you created the binder, you are the owner automatically. You can't give the permission of owner to anyone else. You would have to transfer ownership of the binder over to someone else. You can't choose a role. The owner is sort of the king of the jungle, if you will, and the owner sort of dictates who else gets user roles. They get to hand out the roles. So if you're inviting someone and you just want to copy a quick link and then paste it in your own email and send it to them, or your own chat program, you can simply select what role you would like that person to have, click copy, and a link will get copied to your clipboard, and then you can simply paste that into your own email program or your own chat program and send it off to your friend. Or you can enter their name over here, their email address. So I'm going to enter in Richard Jason Test, my test account. This person isn't in Doculife. I'm going to invite them to Doculife, and I'm going to select their user role as well. So this will be someone. So let's talk about these user roles. So I'm the owner. I am the apex predator in this particular binder, and I can hand out these roles. And the 3 roles that we have from order of highest ranking to lowest ranking, which is the reverse order we're showing here, is owner, then admin. Admin can do everything an owner can do except delete the binder or transfer ownership. Only the binder owner can do that. And admin can invite anyone. They can edit my stuff. They can edit their stuff. They can add their stuff. They can do everything I can do except delete the binder or transfer ownership. An editor can do all of that, except they can't invite anyone. So they can edit my stuff, they can edit their stuff, they can add their stuff, they can delete their stuff, they can delete my stuff, but they can't invite anyone. And then re-download, this is just someone who's basically you want to keep them informed, or you don't want them to have the ability to change or add anything. These are people that can only read and download only. They can't edit anything, they can't add anything. All they can do is look at stuff and download stuff. Everyone can have conversations. That's not limited by contributor role at all. It's contributor roles directly relate to editing capabilities and being able to invite people. So admin and editor can change, delete, and modify my stuff and their own stuff. So these people, you want to make sure you know who they are and that you trust them. Their acquaintances. People you don't know, maybe you're in a working type of environment, and you're inviting people to check things out, or they're a friend of a friend of a friend kind of a thing. You want to give them read download privileges so they can't alter your binder in any way, shape, or form. All they can do is look at it and read and download. So again, editor and admin should be people you know and trust, because they can edit and delete your stuff too. And then read and download, this could be anybody, because all it can do is consume. So those are the 3 different types of roles. So again, when you're inviting someone, you can add a note down here at the bottom, click send invitation. They'll get invited, they'll show up on the sent tab, and when they accept, they'll show up on the accepted tab. All right, so when they are invited, they will get an email that looks like this. Hey, let's plan this trip together, was a note that I had entered specifically myself. And then the rest of this is kind of what we call boilerplate. So you've received an invitation to collaborate, and then the person just clicks start now. If they don't have an account, they sign up in under 30 seconds, no credit card required. We do require people to sign up because Doculife is a closed network. It's private. No outside eyes can see your stuff. Only specific people you invite. And that's what is so great about Doculife. It's like having your own private all-in-one network. You only the people you choose see what you choose. When you invite someone to Doculife, they cannot see all your stuff. They can only specifically see the binder you invite them to. So if you've got 50 binders, you invite them to one, they can only see that one. The other 49 remain invisible to them. And again, that's part of the what's great about Doculife, is that you're siloing people to only see what you want them to see, and all of your stuff remains private and secure. So that's what's great about Doculife. All right, so let's roll into tagging, and we're going to let's see, take a look at tagging. We're going to stop, and we're going to go back to our presentation. All right. So what are tags? Tags are a way to organize your content and call it up in Doculife very easily. And there's some confusion, I think, that people have around tags because they tend to be a little too descriptive with their tagging methodology. So I'm going to share with you how I use tags. And if you have a different way, a different strategy, that's great. But I'm just going to show you what I do. And I think it's pretty good, and it would help you use tags as well. And once you maybe get rolling with tags and you feel like you can kind of mix it up to do something that's tailored specifically to how you like, then go ahead. That's totally fine. There's definitely more than one way to do things, especially with tags. But let's talk about what tags are. So tags are a great way in Doculife to move content around within it without needing to copy it. All you would do is enter the tag you need for the content in a specific binder, and that content will then show up in that binder, and you don't have to drag and drop it. You don't have to copy it. You don't have to move it. You can do that if you like. If you don't want to use tags, we have those abilities as well to copy and move things. But if you are a person that likes using tags, that's another great way to be able to move things around in Doculife, be able to filter out unwanted content really easily just by entering a few quick words. So you may have a group of photos. For instance, here, imagine I took a trip to Santorini, Greece, and I've got 30 or 100 of these photos where everything is white and blue and has flowers and this blue sky, and Santorini, it's gorgeous there, but everything kind of looks like this photograph where it's got its sky, it's really sunny, there's stairs, there's a gate, it's blue, there's a door, there's flowers, all these great things. But these aren't the type of words that we want to use as tags. This is what we call metadata, and this is what you would use to find one specific photo on, say, Google Images or a stock photo site. You're trying to find one specific image that has these attributes to it. So these are what we call metadata or attributes or keywords. These aren't tags. Tags are a little bit more general, a little bit more higher up, and a little bit more vague. So what I would do if I was bringing in these 30 to 100 photos is I would ask myself first, what is it? And that way it helps you categorize the style of content you're uploading. And I would say, well, these are photos. So you might think that we could stop there and just add a single tag of photo, but if you're like anyone these days with a smartphone, you're probably taking, 100 photos every 15 minutes, especially if you're on vacation. And you're going to have a ton of these, and everything's going to be called photo. So when you get back from your trip, you're not going to stop taking photos. You're going to keep taking photos of the coffee at your Starbucks or your dog making a cute face. And so you can't give everything the same single tag of photo, because when you enter that tag into a binder and you only want your grease photos, you're going to get every photo that has the tag photo. And so you're going to get that coffee cup, you're going to get that funny face from your dog, and you're going to get everything from grease. So then we have to add some additional tags to it to help qualify it. And so I'm going to also ask myself, well, where was the photo taken? Well, it was taken during this Greece trip. And maybe I'm a millionaire and I have a yacht and I go all over the Mediterranean. And so I take a ton of these trips. And so which Greece trip was this? Well, it was in 2018. So me personally, I would add these 3 tags to this set of photos that I'm uploading. One is photo, the next one is Greece trip, and the next one is 2018, just so I have these 3 qualifiers. And if I've got multiple Greece trips, I can tell Doculife which exact Greece trip I'm talking about. So how would all this apply to like a document, like just a mundane document, like a car title, right? Well, you kind of ask yourself the same questions again, but you maybe switch it up a little bit to make it pertain to this particular style of document. So what is it? Again, it's not a photo, it's a car title. But maybe you're a multi-car family, or you've just got different vehicles yourself, like a car and a motorcycle, car and a boat, car and a trailer. Everything's got to have a title to it here in the United States anyway. So then we're going to ask ourselves, well, when is the title for? And then what is the title for? So it's for a 2019 Toyota Sienna. So then when I upload this to Doculife, I throw in these 3 tags. And when I need to call it up in any binder in Doculife, if I've got a car binder specifically about my Toyota Sienna, maybe I've got an insurance binder I want to keep it in, all I need to do is add in this grouped tag. So that actually brings us to an interesting conversation, and that is about group tags. Because in Doculife, you have the ability to enter custom tags in any binder to bring in content that you want. However, you're going to run into a situation where you add multiple tags, but Doculife sees it as or and not and. And what do I mean by that? So you're going to add in 3 tags. So for instance, I asked you to tag a photo with these 3 things, right? Photo, 2018, and Greece trip. And so you're going to say, Jason, well, you told me to add these 3 tags, but when I add these 3 tags to a binder, I get a picture of my dog, I get a picture of the Eiffel Tower, and a bunch of bank statements and stuff. When you add 3 individual tags to a binder, Doculife sees it as or. So I'm going to bring in anything that matches any of these tags, photo or 2018 or Greece trip. So it's showing me anything with the tag photo, anything with the tag 2018, and anything with the tag Greece trip. So I'm getting a whole bunch of these random stuff. But when I group the tag, and I'll show you how to do that in 1 second, it filters out everything that's unwanted and will only show you the things that have these 3 tags when you group the tag. Doculife then reads it as photo and 2018 and Greece trip. And if there is any object on the page that doesn't match these 3 tags, Doculife will get rid of it for you and leave you only with the stuff that you need. So how do you make a group tag in Doculife? So glad you asked. Let's go ahead, pop over and see how to do that right now. Share the screen again, and we'll go back to our Doculife account. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go to Manage and to Documents, and I'm going to add a bunch of things here. All right. There we go. Drag these. Oop. Open this window up here. We're going to do an upload. See if we can get this even. There we go. We're just going to upload this stuff. Boom, 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 boom. These dots are really cool, by the way. If you hover over these dots, this is what Doculife does after your upload is complete. We go through multi-step processing, and you hover over each you can see exactly what it's doing. And some of this is actually to protect you and protect other people on Doculife. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, we're also scanning the images as well. It's something new that we do, and we'll auto tag things if we recognize something that's in that particular photograph. So it's auto adding these particular tags right here of dog, which is cool because that's what we're going to do right now anyway. So yeah, really cool. All right, so I'm going to take these other ones here that it didn't recognize, and I think that's one as well. Yeah, we'll just give all these. All right, so now we're going to, wait, I'm supposed to add all these as photo first. That's right. So I'm going to apply tags to all the photos I just uploaded of photo. Hit return, makes it a tag, hit tags. All right, and as you can see, they'll all get that tag. All right, so now if we deselect everything and we only select the photos of Paris that we have, all right, and then we add tags to those photos of Paris only. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the binder, and we want to add an album in this particular section right here. So we're going to go to the plus button for that section, and we're going to, actually, let's bring in those photos using the tagging here. So we got to turn off a couple of these sections. All right, so binder checklist, we want to see our tags. So we'll show that to everyone, and we're going to move this up to the top. And we'll go back out. There it is. All right, so now if we add the tag in it, Doculife will list all of your available tags here for you, so you don't even have to type it, which is really handy. We're going to add the tag photo here. And as you see, Doculife will bring in everything with the tag photo. And like as mentioned, it's got pictures of this dog and then pictures of Paris. And those are the ones that we want to keep. We don't want to keep pictures of our dog here, right? Even though he's super cute, it's not really the right binder for him. So how to get rid of him quickly. So we're going to add another custom tag, and that's going to be Paris. As you can see, nothing's happened here, okay? So we're going to group these, and how to group it is you drag one on top of the other. So as you can see, it turns to the hand, and when I click, it closes to the fist, and as I drag, you'll see that the other tag has this cool gray outline letting you know that you're in the right spot, and then let it go. And when I let it go, you're going to see all the dog pictures get filtered out. There. And we're left with only the photos that we like. Really cool, right? So it left only the ones that are tagged with photos and Paris and got rid of everything else that didn't match this particular thing. So as you can see, there's no more dog photos in this particular binder, which is really cool, right? So if I were to get rid of this here, and we say that we want photos again, oop, let me get rid of that. Photo singular, there we go. Now, if I were to enter dog on this one here and Labrador Retriever, and you can group as many tags as you need. It's just if that particular object has that many tags associated to it. So there's only going to be, I'm going to group these, and we're only going to be left with the photos that have those, and then also Labrador Retriever, which is only 2, right? I believe. Oh, I guess we didn't have any with that. All right. I went a little too far there. I should have checked beforehand. So as you can see, it's a really powerful way to be able to bring things in and out of binders just by adding tags. Again, if I just add this tag photo, you'll see that everything gets brought in at the snap of a finger that has that tag. So really handy way to be able to bring things in and out of binders. And again, if I add the tag of Paris and I group these, you'll see how quickly the dog photos get filtered out just like that. So a really great way to use tags. Now, let's talk about import email addresses, because that's where things get really fun. So an import email address is like, think about Doculife's binders, sections, and albums as houses on a street. Every house on the street is going to have its own address so that your mailman knows where to bring the mail to. Well, import email addresses are the same thing. Every binder, section, and album on Doculife has its own address that you can send things to. All you need to do is ask Doculife to tell you what that address is, and then you can use it. So for instance, I am going to create, we've got this welcome to our report. So I am going to send something directly to this section right here, and it's going to be a walking map that I have in an email account, but I need to forward it into Doculife, and I need to retrieve the particular section here so I know where to send it to. So let's click the plus section on this particular section here. We'll go to import email. We've got that section drop down right here. If you've got any sections or albums created in your binder, they will be listed here. As you can see in our drop down, we've got a whole bunch. Now, if you need to create one, no sweat. You don't need to close this window. Just type it in, and then Doculife will know that it doesn't exist and ask you if you want to create it. So you can create an album here on the fly too if you wanted to. So I'm going to create an import email address for the welcome to our report section specifically. Then just click this button here. Doculife will create that for you in a couple seconds. Actually, let's see if we can just create it for this particular binder by itself here. Let's get rid of that. There we go. All right, so we'll just send it to the binder itself for now. So you get this email address here. Okay, then we're going to copy this. And we're going to come over to our email program. And I've got this map here that someone has sent me. And what I'm going to do is forward it into Doculife. And then we just copy that address. So just paste it right here in the to field. Now, what you can do is also modify the subject. So you can tag things just by modifying the subject field. So instead of forward blah, 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 you can just say tags, map, Paris. All right, so just by using this simple words right here, tags, map, Paris, we can tag the attachment of this particular email so that when it comes into Doculife, it'll automatically have these two tags applied to it. So let's go ahead and send this. We'll pop over to Doculife here, close this out, we'll scroll to the top, and we should see it pop into Doculife here in a second automatically. So it's takes probably, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds total to get send stuff to your particular binder, which is really cool. There it is. So now it's processing in the background, but if we open it up, you'll see that the two tags were applied here, map and Paris. Really cool, right? We have a little bit of an internal error. It's okay. It's not completed uploading yet. That's all right. So it's just getting processing in the background. Here it comes. Excuse me. There it is. There it is. There's the walking map of Paris. Really cool, right? And then we can easily select that and move it down into that section if we want to. There it is, walking map. We just sent this in from the email. So really cool. So if you have emails that don't have attachments, those will come in as PDFs. So really handy if you've got a receipt from a hotel or a receipt from anything that's kind of HTML. It doesn't have a PDF attachment of your receipt. I know a lot of places are doing that now, and it's kind of hard to save those, right? So you could save that now with Doculife. Just forward the email itself right into your Doculife account, into any section, binder, or album. And Doculife will convert that email into a PDF so that then you have that receipt in Doculife as a PDF ready to use anywhere. So really fun stuff today. Do come back next week when we're going to talk about learning the basics of Doculife. Again, we're just scratching the surface of what you can do with Doculife. There's a lot of great uses you can use with tags. Again, a lot of great uses with Doculife as far as inviting people to help work with you in a particular binder, whether that's planning an event, working on a particular job, remodeling, etc. You can work with your service professionals. You can invite your accountant or your insurance professional into any binder that you want, so they have access to your receipts or anything about your house or your car, etc. So really great way to use Doculife. Really check it out. It's free to get started. No credit card required. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.